But let's get into episode 2 now. All right. So first 15 minutes of episode 2. How you feel about it? Let's go with complex first.
Need some water real quick.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm eating a pretzel. So she got Natalie back, right?
Right. We got Natalie back.
And so her reluctance to accept her, I understood it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
understood her the pushback that she had for not wanting to acknowledge her or wanting to
Mhm.
be around her. Her mom had it was weird. Like her mom had a different reaction than she did.
Mm.
And so, but what I felt like her pushback was justified because she's not real.
Right.
And once you put in your mind that this is a real person, that's when you're fucked. Because now what happens, something goes wrong with the AI and they're not there. It feels like a loss all over again. I
Right.
understood her mindset. I understood when she woke when she at the end of the episode when she saw her and she passed out. I
Right.
was just like, yeah. It was like, girl, I got you. I'd have fell on the floor too.
Yeah, because
And
at the end of that first episode, I thought she like I didn't think that was real at first, but then when you got to episode 2, you start realizing, oh shit, it is real.
but oh, that's Jarvis.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Jarvis like
There we go.
so yeah, so I
Mhm.
definitely understood her pushback.
Okay.
And I felt like it was that was like a good way to protect her mental health. Like like
Mhm.
don't accept this. This isn't real. This is the AI. It's a program. But then when she started knowing and things and having the mannerisms, that's when it kind of was like, okay, now she can't really separate. But I did understand her pushback of trying to like mentally and emotionally protect herself by not
Right.
accepting it and knowing that there is a difference because that's a fine line when like you don't know the difference. Like, no, this is my best friend. This is Natalie and stuff like that. That's dangerous. So
Right.
I definitely understood her pushback.
Okay. That's okay. I can see your perspective from that. Okay. That makes sense. From that perspective, that makes pretty sense. All right, Darking, what you feel about first 15 minutes about Natalie being alive as well? Well, not really alive, but AI Jarvis.
At first, I thought I was gonna hate her as a character. Natalie was actually I actually started liking because she made a lot of sense. She's the only thing she was doing was trying to help. Also, for the fact that I understand why Riri felt the way she did. You know, it's
Mhm.
seeing a dead friend that died in front of you. It's traumatic. I get it.
Right.
That also leads to something later that was kind of like, what, why? In episode two. But also, I'll say something else, sir. But
Yeah.
I didn't mind her character. I mean, I didn't mind her character at first, but then I'm like, I kind of like got annoyed with Riri because of the fact that she started acting the way she did. But
Mhm.
I agree with him with the Compass saying that that was kind of like a mechanism to trying to deflect the fact that you know what she did. But it's like the fact that the AI came out because she was thinking about her because of the mixtape when she had that terrible breakdown in episode one when she just started terrible, terrible, by the way.
Grade A acting. I love it.
Great acting, just terrible trash. But I was gonna say more of after everything, we should more explain the episode in order so they get to help them understand what we're talking about.
Mhm.
Because I think there's a few parts we did miss in episode one, like how they introduced the villains, which was dog shit in the
Oh,
first place.
yeah,
Like,
I asked you about the villains, but y'all
oh,
ain't
we
want to talk about
no,
them.
because there's shit, by the way. So, but they even more shit in this one too. But no, also here's the thing though, and I was thinking about this along the way. It was funny how we supposed to follow this person, and with the fact that she got manipulated because of money. Oh, let's do evil things. Let's just do this. Let's do this thing. Oh, I'm not sure about this. Here's money. Okay, yeah, like, like, and then you get this AI. You work on this AI because you're doing a heist that you're thinking you're doing. Oh, I'm doing this because I want to get money, not knowing the repercussions of what you're doing.
Right.
And then you get this AI who's been nothing like ever since she was made, ever since she was nothing but helpful,
Right.
very helpful, and it's just like even helping her find the I want to say his name so bad, but I got to be careful. I said it once. I'm gonna say it again one more time, and then I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't want your channel to get demonetized because he is no, but Natalie was such a a great help, but I can understand Riri's feelings for that because of the fact that it's trauma which didn't last long, by the way. It didn't. She easily accepted it very fast.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, so that's just terrible writing again. Hmm?
Yes, it definitely comes to the writing. Correct. Correct. She accepted it really quick. So
Very quickly.
yeah.
No.
But the pushback towards Natalie, I can she villains, my allergic villains is cool. What?
Oh no, no. I said somebody said should we do it something next week? No, because we got to do 4, and then 5, and then 6.
But that's 2 weeks from now, though.
I know. I want to get rid of this shit now and get this turd out of
I
here.
was
I don't
saying
want to sit
check
there and
out
think
the
about it.
content. We've been talking for a while. You said you wanted to stream games, and
No, I'm fine.
that's
I'm
what I
fine.
was saying.
I want to get
All
this
right,
turd
well,
out the
either way,
way.
He
I
wants
I
to
say
want.
get
keep
this out the
the fight.
way.
I want to get this out the way. I want to get this out of my brain.
Okay, okay, okay.
Allergy villain is cool. Right? Fucking guy. He finds out you're allergic and to what you're allergic to, and you can turn his body into that, and you're allergic. He's Mother Nature. The fuck? Like
That's a fucking weird ass fucking villain.
he's Mother Nature. That's all it is.
My fucking villain was it or villain origin story that we did for the AI stupid that was just weird. But let me let me get back to the allergic nut shit. That shit was so stupid as hell. Mr.
He
Captain
would be the fucking hero, Nutman.
Nutman. I couldn't stand that shit. Anyway, that was yeah. All right. So you feel like now do you understand the crash out for her feeling that way about Natalie, or is it just more of a
Thank you for the early birthdays. My birthday's tomorrow, but thank you, Baka. Hey, Baka. Allergen. Show was valid. Like I said, it been trauma. That's like I'll use my my personal thing, my mom. If I had an AI of my mom pop up, I wouldn't know how I would feel too. So I can understand that part. Like it's kind of it would be hard for me to be like I would be like I don't know about this and call me a bitch and everything like that. I'm like hold on. Hey hey hey, you're my mom. Like hold on, chill now.
So all right, so let's talk about the heist that they needed to do in episode 2. The
Wait wait
heist. Okay, go ahead.
wait. We have to talk about. She didn't have the suit ready before the heist. We got to talk about the guy first.
Wait,
Oh,
hold on.
I
We gotta
forgot.
talk about
I forgot he was on that
a
episode.
montage
Yes.
had me crying.
The montage for that was.
So they was like, oh yeah, so so the villains have the meeting. They was like, oh yeah, so we're gonna
Uh
do the heist tomorrow,
There you go.
and then so that's actually in episode 1. So she's definitely gonna have the heist tomorrow. She has to get the suit ready or whatever, whatever. And then she falls asleep. That's how she creates Natalie.
No,
And
episode 2. The episode
what's
1 is
episode 2?
that's episode 2
yes,
because 2 when she
yeah,
woke up,
episode.
she had to
Okay,
leave the one thing with the mom. The mom happened before she had to run out to the meeting.
Right,
okay,
right, right.
correct. So she has to do this meeting with the villains, and
Mhm.
then she has the meeting. They say, okay, tomorrow we're gonna do it. So like the whole montage of her like putting the suit together, mind you, everybody. I swear to God, her mom lives in an apartment building. When the guy was watching her when she came back with Xavier in episode 1, it looked like an apartment building. Didn't look like a house. It looked like an apartment building. So she's literally taking power from the whole goddamn apart. Go ahead, Dark King.
No. Because no, you bring up something that I have to ask a question. But go ahead. What you're saying. I'll ask my question in a minute.
So she's trying to power up a suit. She takes the power from the whole probably the whole fucking town
Yeah.
to power up a suit for 4 hours. Now nobody noticing there's a whole black
Villain.
for 4 hours. Now
Yep.
mind you, while she's building the suit, I looked at her hair. Her hair was in a high afro puff, then went
Oh
back to French braids, and
no
I
no
said,
no
"Wait, hold up,
no. Don't go with the hair
hold."
because you'll piss yourself off. The hair changes on different scenes in the same episode was fucking crazy.
I was
Yes.
like, "Well, it's happening in this scene," and I was like, "How is she able to?" I was like, first off, I get it, you don't have, but she could have went to the garage, which she does later. Why are you building it? She's building it in her mom's kitchen. She's building it in the kitchen next to the air fryer, bro. She's in the kitchen building, working on this suit. She's in her room. She has like a whole home improvement setup inside of her room and stuff like that. And she's doing parts of it. She's running diagnostics on a laptop.
Yeah.
Stop talking to me. I look like an IBM ThinkPad that she was running that
Yep.
diagnostic on. And this is what I'm talking about with sometimes this shit,
On a
like,
corn
okay, I get
laptop.
this shit, like,
You said it. Eh.
oh,
Corn top. There you go.
oh
Corn
no,
top.
I cry later, I swear.
But
And
no,
I was like, there ain't no way in the world she's doing all this with the suit
Right.
on this laptop in this kitchen in her room. Ain't no way.
mind you,
Ain't no way,
also
bro.
wait, question.
Why Why
Her
your
mom,
hair keep changing? Who braided your hair back up?
yo, exactly. No, here's the thing.
Mind you, that
What?
shit takes hours.
No, here's the thing. Her mama's been getting dick. Cause how the fuck you was in the kitchen like all night, mind you, and then you come back home in the morning, and mind you, you're a painter. What the fuck your mom doing? Like, so she
Right.
must have was getting some prime A dick, like that she did not come home that night for plot. But mind you, introduction to the villains, they're all one note characters. No one gave a shit. If I heard that one villain check with their fingernails one more time, I was gonna throw my TV out the fucking window. Let's just go with that one too.
Oh yeah,
So
clock that T.
yeah, that dumb every time she did it. Dumb. Okay, but you made me ask a real interesting question. How the fuck did she put that suit, bring that suit downstairs to put in the fucking wagon when she had a hard time dragging the suit to her room? And how do people not know like what she's doing? Hey, wait, another thing. If she's gonna do a heist, why are you building a suit in front of your neighbors?
Plot point.
Dumb. Like, like, it's like, come on, come on.
It, it's bad, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Episode 2 was really all over the place. Yep.
fuck one note ass character. So then going, so no, that's not the guy I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the shit villains. I'm not talking about them.
Yeah.
Fuck all of them, honestly. I'm talking about Mister. I'm failing in life in my career, Han Solo.
Oh, I was wondering where the fuck he was from.
He's Han Solo.
I've seen this man before. Where have I seen this man?
He's Han Solo in a solo. No, you don't remember because it's a prequel.
I love
I,
prequels.
nope.
Okay, I was gonna say something, but then I would get slapped. So I'm gonna. Hey, welcome to the camera complex.
Now
All right, there you go.
I'm out.
So
I just wanted to do that. Like,
his whole.
so
So I remember his name. His name was Cuck. I mean, sorry, Josh.
Josh.
His whole character from the first time you met him, great prime A Cuck. Like he watches his girlfriend get fucked on a daily. Like, yo, the dog's taking it. Like she let the next he let the next door neighbor's dog take a shit on his lawn. Hey, can you not let your dog take a shit on the lawn? Well, I can't do. Bitch, told you. You don't need to bring your dog on my lawn and shit. The next time that happen, I promise you, all that's gonna be on your fucking doorstep when you wake up next morning.
Like,
You
I
don't
promise you, that dog will be in the air fryer.
that nah, I'm not gonna do it. No, your dog gonna get shaved. Yeah, like I will sew his asshole up. He can't shit no more. You bring that dog over here again. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Joe, like
And
your
it,
dog has sensitive allergies, so she cannot go on the dry grass, Joe. I'm like,
Ass wide
bitch,
shut.
why are you giving me useless
dun-dun-dun,
information?
dun-dun-dun.
Do with that? I don't give a fuck. Wait, bitch, there's no other
Like,
lawn that's over here that you could take this dog to she go shit on.
yes, get off my fucking lawn. Like, even when he did at the end of
God.
the episode, that still wasn't enough. I was like, bitch, you're like, oh, I don't want to mess with my flowers. Fuck your
And he
flowers.
stepped it up in episode 3.
Did he though?
Yeah.
Did he though?
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Like, well, no, I checked out on episode 3. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like that shit was. Anyway, but no, even with the fact that go back to Riri Williams being a villain, the first thing you go into another man's house and start raiding his shit.
She
Oh,
had
where's
that
the stuff
conversation
at?
with him prior to. He knew that that's what was about to happen.
No, but still, you don't raid somebody. And first of all, why are you going into somebody's house who's in the black market? You don't know who the fuck he is.
She was doing a
His
TikTok,
weed.
bro.
Here's the thing. No, fuck all that. Fuck all that. We've seen TV shows where there's psychopaths that played a dweeb and then turn out to be a mastermind. If she's such a genius, you didn't do a background check on this dude before you went out there. You left your Jarvis at home, by the way, AI home. By the way, I did enjoy I did enjoy the
way he
touching
said
moment.
it.
Yeah. No, what is she? She's not She's not her Jarvis.
No, she is. I actually mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
I mentioned Jarvis.
Yeah. So no. So yeah, that's what. Oh, okay. Now I understand what you mean. So yeah, I did enjoy the moment between the mom and Natalie, like them bonding.
Right.
That was kind of nice. I did because, like I said, going back to Natalie being
her
a good
finding
character.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then again, that whole scene with him, and then, oh yeah,
Oh,
oh
she is. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna read you what they say in them. She is Natalie means a neuro
no,
autonomous technical assistant and laboratory intelligence entity. Natalie.
mid. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm still alive from a wrestler. Yes, mid at best. But no, even with the whole thing with her, right? You left the AI, which, by the way, if you were able, then that later on, she proves to be useful when she read Chaz's spirit energy in the show. Like, so she's very useful.
See,
Uh-huh.
she
If
is, but that's the problem. That's another issue with Natalie as well. Natalie wants her, wants Riri to treat her as a friend. There's a
yeah,
difference.
no, I
Natalie
understand.
says in the beginning, "You're my AI. You're supposed
Right.
to do what I tell you to do." Henceforth, Jarvis, because Jarvis was a butler. So, Jarvis was the butler of the AI community.
Yeah,
So he was the Alfred. So,
Right.
he was supposed to do what he's told. But Natalie is giving pushback. I can understand why she didn't bring her. It will overcomplicate things that's already complicated, if that makes sense.
mind. Remember,
Yeah.
remember,
Can you
Which
clock
remember.
that
which
T?
No,
which did
remember.
show a little bit in that in the mission that they did do in part two in
Yeah,
the second
Yes.
episode.
remember. Where did Natalie come from?
Her mind, body, and soul.
Riri's mind. So the characteristic she's acting like is because she thought of her that way. So that's not the AI fault. That's Riri fault. Like
Yeah,
she
but
thought
it's
about
not
her.
But she
necessarily Riri's
but she
fault
don't know
too,
that.
because it was a mistake. She says
Right.
that. It was
Right.
an accident. It's not like she purposely created like Tony purposely created Jarvis. Like it wasn't like that.
I mean, he accidentally created Vision and freaking Ultron. So I mean, he made Ultron and then fucked up. Well, technically, he
Like the
didn't really
crazy,
create him
he
in the
made him
comic book.
like the craziest part of Tony Stark. He made that was
Yeah,
Ultron.
yeah. No,
Like
no,
the most
no, no.
extreme side of him.
Honestly speaking, no. You know what happened? Ultron went on the internet and saw people. He's like, "Fuck this! Everybody got to get destroyed."
See
Like
him doing that in 2025 right now, just
he
seeing like, let me just take everybody out real quick
he
because
saw TikTok.
But
y'all
Yeah,
obviously don't want to be here
yeah,
anymore.
he saw
So
TikTok and
yeah,
he was
facts.
like,
Facts.
don't worry,
Ultron.
y'all go to heaven. It's not suicide if I do it.
"Yeah, Baby Shark. Okay, yeah, the whole world got to go." Like,
Yeah, Baby Shark. All right, we gotta take this
but
out.
but going back to Josh, right? His whole character arc. He could have, oh, that is my silo is somewhere else. You get into a car with a stranger and you make these threats like, oh, if you don't do this, I'm gonna call FBI. But you're in the thing with him, so he can call right on you too.
Yeah, he can. He can.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. Let's go on the thing. So, mind you, you're making a blackmail threat, right? You're going into the car. Your suit doesn't work. He doesn't know that though, but your suit doesn't work. You're out your suit, by the way. You're in a car with him. Ample opportunity. He could have had something on the seat. He could have got you. He could have like stabbed you with a needle. Anything like that. This is what comes to the shitty writing. He could have been that crazy guy. He let her go first down the stairs. He could have kicked her down the stairs and trapped her. That would have been the last of Riri Williams.
Yeah, because it does show that her fighting is not to par.
Trash.
She
That's what
can't.
I mean. Yeah,
She can't
that's what
fight.
I
She
mean.
can't. She can't fight.
That's what I mean by him. Like he was he's a shitty character because he's so like submissive,
Mm.
and it's just annoyingly like God damn he's not going. It's like it's I mean
He's great, bro. He loves Alanis Morissette. He's a win in my book.
he cried. The man started crying. No, the man started crying. This is not Fortnite. We don't play this music, singing the music. They don't have a bond. They don't. It's not a friendship. It started with blackmail. It's not a friendship.
That's a great friendship.
That's not a friendship. That's also showing that Riri's a shitty character. Like you come in here and you start your shit. Like, come on, like that ass. Straight up ass. Like
But to be fair, how many people did Tony Stark blackmail?
plenty. What you talking about? No, it's like no, it's not that he blackmailed them. He forgot about them. He forgot about them. Literally, the guy that he helped him build a suit, he met him in 3. And he was like, oh hey, yeah, da da da. And he forgot the fuck who he was. Tony used people forgets who the fuck they are. I mean,
And
granted, this is when he was an
then
asshole.
fucking Mysterio began to them being a Tony Stark.
Oh, fuck him. Fuck his character. He's a piece of shit. Invention was trash. Like, oh yeah, they
You
even
don't
explained it.
notice me, senpai.
Yeah,
Notice me.
you made a therapy session for him. He's like, fuck out of here. Fuck that whole company, the division. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all fired. Yeah. But
Oh
yeah,
my god.
sucky. But as you were saying, yeah, Josh was a cop.
Josh, yes, Josh's character development is very harmful right now. He had a whole bunker, and then was it 2 we found out he's connected to? It was 3. Okay, so we'll get to that in 3.
Make me even more mad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, 2 when it came to that mission that they were going to do, with it was some transit thing that they had going on
Yeah.
because of the fact that they're trying to make billionaire companies and blackmail them basically. So they're trying to get their money. It's like Robin Hood kind of thing that they're trying to do. So it's like, why are you trying to do this? But then we find out that my character, decides to be like, oh, okay, well, fuck the millionaires. It's about us. And we're going to grab all their money, supposedly. And then obviously nothing happens because they almost fuck it up. Twice. Two missions almost got fucked up because of Riri.
Yeah.
That mission, because Natalie came up while she was doing that whole thing. And then she lost control. She lost the remote, or not the remote, the
The
drive.
chip, yeah, drive, yeah.
Yeah.
Which wasn't 100%
So
guaranteed anyway. So
it was. Yeah. But obviously, it worked out in their favor at the end. But at what cost?
the car should have crushed her.
The car, that would have been the end of the show, bro. You don't want
And
you don't want that, bro. It's the end of the show.
I rooted for the car.
You
I
would
was like,
root for the car.
come on, please.
You would root for the car.
I rooted for the
But
car.
but if the suit was that powerful, she would have been lifted up that goddamn car, though.
Yeah.
She got her suit from Timu, so we understand this already.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And for somebody that's supposed to be broke and everything like that, she did a bang up job putting that suit together that she can fly. She got the parts that she didn't. No matter of fact, when you do black market stuff, you're supposed to pay for this stuff. Once again, when you're dealing with the black market, these are shady people. He could have shot her in her fucking face. Fuck you being free.
Yeah, true. At least she had time to do the mission and go on a date.
She never washed up. Mind you, she never washed up. She went from the mission in whatever, because you did a high thing mission. You know you're sweating, and you left out of there and went on a date. You stink ass. Like, what the fuck? Like, first thing I saw when I saw that, I'm like, you nasty bitch. Like,
Oh my God.
like
No, which leads me to my conclusion. Episode 2 was all over the place.
It was.
Too much things happened at once. And it was so rushed to the point where it almost threw me off. Yeah.
hey, remember what a part where Chaz told Riri that they don't harm people, and then the
Oh,
episode of the first heist, 3 people got killed because he cut one of their necks. The dude cut
well,
his neck.
ironically enough, did you see the end of that clip where all of them are still alive?
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. There were people on the floor still. There were people on the floor still. Like,
Just needed to get their bearings. That's all that was.
there's
What it
no,
was, bro.
that motherfucker.
Get up. We'll walk that shit off, bro.
Walk,
Get up.
walk that slit throat off, bro. You're good.
Yeah, for real.
As Robert Downey Jr. said in Tropic Thunder, that motherfucker was dead. Like, they hurt. Listen, nobody gets hurt. No, nobody gets hurt. You do a whole episode where people getting thrown around and beat the fuck up. That's people getting hurt, by the way, mind you. So what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
And then also let's talk about the crash out that AI had when a guy pointed a gun at her.
Right.
Hey, put the mask back on.
Because
I'm like, I didn't know
apparently,
AI to have PTSD, but
right. I was about to say that. Yes, exactly. So now they're trying to build Natalie as if she's an organic kind of AI, which
Mhm.
I kind of see what they're going with, but at the same time, it's like having her remember the shot, getting shot at, and having that PTSD moment as a AI is
Makes no
very, very fucking weird.
Which makes no sense because how do you know her last moments?
I think it's a combination of her last moment, like what Riri remembers.
Saw, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's where they're because they both were in the same place at the same time. So I think it's more of what Riri remembers, and then it's more of like an AI slowing things down, looking at the memory, dissecting it, and
Hmm.
stuff like that more than I think it would be of like Natalie. But I think they're trying to put it as to I thought that also threw me when that conversation was happening. I was like, wait, what? So you telling me she has original memories? Like, no.
Yeah, no.
And then she's like, how do you know how to do that? Only my Nat knows how to do that. Bitch, don't you know how to do that? Don't you know she did that? So obviously she
Mm-hmm.
knows it too. You
Right.
were sleeping.
That was
Your
another thing
consciousness
too.
was
Yeah.
open.
That was another thing. She's like, "Oh, how do you know how to calm me down? Only my Nat knows how to calm me down because you programmed her and it's in your mind. That's exactly how she
Exactly. And
knows.
I feel like that's where she started take bring like her defenses started coming down. She was being more accepting of like the help. Granted, like that's the thing, the dynamic. Like when you have like oh that best friend that's like oh ready for the shits and giggles and for anything that goes down. It was like yeah, Natalie comes through in the clutch and at times, but then there's times when she will fuck things up. When
Right.
Riri thinks she has like when Riri has things under control,
Yeah.
Yo.
felt like when she offered
Oh.
to go with her and she went to go meet Joe by herself, I kind of felt like she told her to stay because stressed out from the job, the suit's not ready. She
Mhm.
doesn't really know what she's doing. And then now Natalie being there, I kind of feel like she was getting overwhelmed
Mhm.
and she just needed to like do things her way without having something in her ear. And that brings me back to where are the adults in the room
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
I
adults.
agree.
besides the criminals?
No, after watching her doing no, you know what it is? She didn't want Natalie to be there because she didn't want her to record the felonies that she was committing.
So she took her out on the actual felonies that she was committing. Like,
Yeah, and then yeah, you know, no. Mind you, she had no intention of bringing her when she did the heist. Natalie just only decided to put herself there. That's the thing. She had no intention to bring her out.
Right. Right.
So
True.
now, after she got incriminated and stuff like that, and she saw the bad because they had the bad juju. Mind you, I wouldn't have trusted AI after that whole crash out that she had when a gun pointed at me. Why I'm having you on my neck as a wireless thing? No, your ass is staying in it till you get to upload it and everything like that. Which that would have been episode 3. But
Yeah. Yeah.
which that
But
song they
because
did use by the way was Cheeks. But
no, yeah, that makes sense because in episode 2, obviously, that's when as soon as after the mission that happened, Hood, went ahead and shot the cop in front of her in the shoulder, and
which
then was like, that's when Natalie had the PTSD moment, and we're just like stuck there, like, okay,
is
AI
this
has
wanted?
PTSD.
Is it me
He
or that
he
bullet
he,
curved?
he curved it because he has the ability to curve bullets.
All right, Wesley.
I thought it hit the suit.
No, before they hit
That's
the
why it
suit,
went
it
up.
curved.
Yeah, before it hit the
It,
suit, it
yeah,
curved.
the bullet curved a little. I'm
It
like,
it, it it was about to hit the suit, and then it curved right around it.
yeah, if you know, he was in the background. He was like this. Whoa,
Not that
Fuck.
hard last movie.
whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm talking about whoa. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Wanted is a good movie, okay? A better comic, a shitty video game, but you're gonna watch. You're gonna put respect on that movie, all right? It came out on my birthday.
Darkane, don't tell me what the fuck to do.
No. You told me to watch my mouth. You gotta watch your mouth when you talk about that movie. That movie was good. All right.
I tell you
Fuck the
for
code.
different reasons that you know why I tell you to watch your mouth.
Morgan Freeman said, "Shoot that motherfucker." And all right.
Shoot that motherfucker.
You gonna think, "Shoot that motherfucker." It's like yes.
That
So
is
okay.
fucking
I
hilarious.
did feel like when they went to tunnel, I feel like the graphics of
Yeah,
well, it was nice. It was pretty. It
yeah,
wasn't anything looking crazy or wonky or out of place. I feel like that was really clean.
yeah,
What the?
yeah. I agree. The aesthetics of it, they weren't as wonky as I thought they were gonna be. The budget kind of shows there, but there I feel like when it comes to that scene specifically, it felt you know it kind of felt almost at some parts like a video game to me, but then some scenes were like, okay, it's realistic enough. But having all that inside of a Chicago, I'm just like, how the fuck does this shit fit in Chicago? It's like they have a whole tunnel system where Ninja Turtles can fucking live and freely play around.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this about Chicago. Not she not get shot out. Like shot at being in Chicago. Like that in Chicago is my God. Like it should have been bang bang. Like, that should have woke her up more than Natalie. Like
That's
if you want to pull stereotypes, you don't pull up the main. Matter of fact, the fact that Natalie and her father and her stepfather got killed by a drive-by is like, wow, really? Like, you
oh fuck.
you want to be creative? It could have been an explosion. Something that you want to make a character. You could have been like Riri caused that explosion. That could have been her redemption arc. That's why she
Right.
felt the way she did. She had nothing. She had no hand. So it's more like grief, the fact that she lost somebody. But the way she's feeling, that's what I say. Like I would have been more like I'm excited to see my friend again because it wasn't her fault that they died. It was just happened to be that she was lucky. out of that situation. So if it was like more like she had a hand, like or she antagonized the gang member who caused the drive by, they trying to hit her, and her stepfather and Natalie got hit because of her. That's why she felt the grief that she felt, that strong grief that she felt. That would have been more. That would have been more for me. To me, this is my opinion here. That would have been more believable than the bullshit that he did.
Did they explain why the shootout happened?
Nope.
Exactly. So now I think hopefully I don't know if they're gonna go into it in the next 3 episodes after, but we still don't know the cause root of why they got
Ew,
shot.
ew. I think I know. Can I guess?
Go ahead.
The hood. The hood had a hand in it. They were probably doing a plan, and that the hood they were trying to get away from the cops, and one of them probably like either the one that thinks that he can beat up an actual dude fired the gun. Because I can go into that, but I'd rather go to that off stream because because really that fight scene, them fight scenes with ass cheeks in a real fight, they ain't winning no fight. They're fucked on that one. They ain't winning. They ain't really winning no fight here. Like
Yeah, I agree. I
fuck
agree.
out of here with that shit.
Yeah, so after everything was said and done, after the mission was over with, she went out to the date, and
Nasty
after
ass.
that, the episode ends with the hood.
Well, no,
Mm.
there was an important question that
Yeah.
this when she did have a conversation with her stepmom about the situation. When after she had a whole talk with Natalie and everything like that, her stepmom asked me. I'm sorry,
Well,
stepmom. See, I said
it
stepmom.
was yeah, I know. Yeah, because she feels like a stepmom.
Yeah,
Oh, so that was episode 2? Oh, okay. I thought it was
that was
episode
episode 2.
1.
Yeah, when she came back in and she asked her, "Hey, why don't you make one for the dad? I mean, the
For
stepdad. I
her,
forgot.
right. Yeah,
Gary.
yeah, Gary.
Now, SpongeBob reference if you can get it. Yeah, why can't you make one for him? Can you make an AI for him?" And she's saying
Mhm,
she can't because that I understand. They said that she kind of was like distant from that one, but it wasn't even like she got mad at her about it. She was more like, "Oh, okay." She was sad about it, but it wasn't
She
like,
was more amazed. She was more
yeah,
amazed by it.
yeah,
And I understood her when she said like, "Hey, can you make one of Gary?"
yeah,
Like
mhm,
the tone of her voice dropped, the sound in the background, it dropped where it wanted to give you that emotional effect.
mhm.
And it was kind of like you almost wasn't expecting her to say that.
yeah,
And then she
Right,
said it, and then you're like, "Oh shit." Like
right.
it was almost like same way like Riri's reaction, "Oh damn." Like I know she kind of wish she could for her mom, but she can't.
yeah,
And so like that I felt that's when I felt like I really felt bad like for her mom cuz like you that's when you could really tell like her mom she's lonely. You Riri gave her the cold shoulder, wasn't calling, wasn't keeping in touch. She doesn't have anybody around. This is what the second parent she lost. I mean second husband she lost. So it's just kind of like
my
Mhm,
goodness.
she wants
mhm.
companionship and Gary was that for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we also don't know where the father is at. I mean, if there's a season, sorry, it's never gonna get season 2. There's
No,
season
you're
2,
good.
my ass. Like
Her father was the drive-by shooting.
you ain't taking my daughter, mother. You ain't taking
Ah.
my daughter from motherfucker.
Could you
I
imagine?
mean, it's Chicago, it's Chi Town, it's Chi Town. So I wouldn't be surprised.
That's true. Chaotic Shadow. What's going on, bro?
It's Chicago, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was a baby daddy. Like, oh, you ain't taking my daughter, motherfucker. Like, fuck out of here.
Then you find out he was obsessed with Tony Stark as well.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. Episode
Anything else?
2 is
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about episode 2 before we move on to 3?
nothing that was in motion. I mean, we pretty much covered the basis of it. It was nothing more important to talk about. Me, I'm saying for myself anyway. I don't know if
Okay.
Complex want to say anything. I'm not speaking for her. She's an
Okay.
independent woman. It's 2025.
That's right. Get it
So,
right.
yeah.
I want to talk about after the mission and the
Hmm.
whole team met up.
Right.
I felt like his speech to them
Oh,
was really sincere and authentic. I felt like he was saying like, oh, we're a family, you know, we're not like the best people and things like that, but
Hmm.
we have each other and I have you guys and you're basically gonna like, you know, I see the value in you. Like he said that in the beginning. But in this moment it seemed more sincere. But he was saying that before the Riri, like I felt like it was just like a manipulation tactic. Like, oh, I see value in you. They don't see that in you. They want to make you feel small. That was
Hmm.
mentioned too, he said to her. So I just felt like, when he's saying that I see you and things like that. I feel like again he's manipulating them because that
Hmm.
their skill set helps him obtain his objective, whatever that may be. Right?
Right. Makes sense.
He
Yeah.
felt powerless. He wants to have power. Henceforth, why he's in the predicament he is, and when he puts the hood on. but
Wait,
I did feel like that was something that was a nice, you know,
wait. He did
humanity
say
based touch.
wait. I call kind of borderline bullshit on that because it's something that he said and how he said it, where he was saying about himself, but then he quickly changed it to put it on a team. It kind of didn't like. So you say it's so sincere. I don't get that from the hood. I feel like at any moment he could just betray them. Besides his cousin, like everybody's honestly speaking, everybody's expendable. Just going back to Rampage, when he didn't do
Yeah.
his mission right, he was gone.
Right.
I mean, he gone. Let's leave it at that. We find out something else later. But yeah, like he didn't. Yeah, it didn't like that comment that he said. It was more like he was doing the speech, but then some the way he said it, the way he was like, and then he said us. He kind of changed it towards the mid, like he was gonna say something else, and then he changed it quickly to make it as part of the group. I got a vibe like he would easily betray y'all like nothing.
Right.
I feel like that's true later on when you start noticing, like in that moment, you don't really, you're not doubting what he's saying, right? You're saying
Hmm.
that in hindsight because now you know that the hood
Right.
messes with his mind.
Right.
So that's where you kind of say like, oh, but like in the moment he is being himself. So you're kind of like, okay, he's not the hood. He's just Peter. I mean, he's just Parker. So
Right.
he's just being himself, being authentic. I know I said Peter. I'm like, oh wait, I
Peter
mean Parker, but
Parker.
I forgot his name was. I forgot his
see
name was
what I
Peter.
did there? See what I did there?
Peter Parker. Picker Parker.
Would have been much better character. Would have been much better. That's
Peter
why I've been
Parker
calling
was
him
his
Chaz because I
name.
forgot his
Chaz.
name. No, that's why I call him Chaz because I forgot his name. Honestly speaking, I didn't forgot his name
Yeah,
was
Parker
Parker.
I
Robbins.
did too. I did too.
Hmm. Yes, Parker. And his friend's name, his cousin name is John. And it says HR, and his name is John.
Okay, yeah, you saw it. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you saw it.
And
Come on.
yeah, so I definitely think like when we realize that it does mess with his mind, that's when you kind of feel like, okay, he's a little bit off his rocker. He's a little bit, Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs.
Q
Right.
Q's
Cuckoo
for
for
Cocoa
Cocoa
Puffs.
Puffs.
There you go.
So,
Right.
yep. So, yeah, so that's why I think like, he was being sincere. And then we end off that, we go from that scene to the mom talking about, hey, can you make me one? And then we end off with, what's his name? With Joe cutting the flowers of the neighbor because he stepped in dog shit. And he
Mm-hmm.
tired of that bitch.
He stepped on the name of the show.
Right.
If you want to do a title, if you want to do a title card, you should have did title card with the dog shit. That would have made more fucking sense.
That's a good one.
Episode 3. We in
So
danger, girl.
Yeah, we in danger, girl.
no, okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. Going back to episode 2, I do want to say one thing. There was a part where they talked about the crash out and they kind of like just overstepped. They were like, "Oh yeah, it happened. Whatever. Let's move on." Hey, did you know Chaz had this weird energy on him? And and then like it's like there's some weird serious energy coming from him. And Riri's like, "Okay, cool. I gotta go take my stink ass to this party."
Gotta take my steak ass to this party.
Okay, I'm being like funny here, but seriously, that's how the scene was. If someone's telling me, "Hey, this dude has some weird aura around him," well, I know that already. I'm just like, why are you still working with him? Hey, Rampage,
What
stop.
does that mean?
Yeah, no, like I would like. Okay, okay, you know what it is.
But that's the actuality, like if we base the reality, like what? Okay, he has some weird energy, and she basically says like, okay, yeah, we have aliens, this, that, third. He could have had some tech from when the fucking Avengers shit happened. You never know. That could be the weird alien energy. Aliens coming all the fucking time, it seems. So
Mm-hmm.
it could be
Yeah,
anything. So that's why it just comes from. Okay, so what does that mean?
you
Like
know,
you telling her that like you don't like what is
I
what
would have been
my suit
skeptical.
could be giving off that. I'm running around here in an iron suit, bitch. Who am I to judge the next person?
No,
Right.
the thing about it is she didn't know yet that, but then she wasn't suspicious until after. I mean, that goes to episode 3. But even
After
still,
Stu. Hmm.
yeah, even then, like Rampage disappeared.
She says, I know he's sus, but she doesn't really want to. She needs the money. Like that's something else that she was bringing up. Like I know,
Villain.
yeah. But
Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
see, and this is also something that I actually wanted to touch on. Smart people not being socially aware.
that's true.
A prime
Yeah.
example of that is Reed Richards.
So,
A prime example of that is Reed Richards. They was like, yeah,
you
you know
mean
how to
Joel?
do all this. You can open up a time worm and all this other stuff, but you don't know how to have a conversation with your wife. It's the it's the same thing,
That's called
and
shitty
that's what I'm
writing.
saying. A lot of times, people that are really smart lack social skills.
You know what? I think about the Ace Van video where he's trying to take this whole
When
time to
Elizabeth
find
stole
this.
his girl.
Yep.
He's trying to take the whole time to save his wife. It's more important about
Yep,
fixing his
and that's
project.
because that's
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 right.
comic book accurate. That's he's like that. He's socially awkward. He doesn't know, you
Hmm.
know, those social cues because he doesn't spend his time socializing with a lot of people. So
True.
I don't know if that's the same with Riri. Does Riri socialize a lot? Was Natalie her only lifeline, her only person she really socialized besides Xavier? And that's it because we don't see anything. We don't see any other family members. We don't see no cousins. We don't see
Hmm.
other friends besides Natalie and Xavier, and I believe that they're brother and sister. So that's
Yeah.
so you could say that they're all one and the same person if you want to go down that route. You don't see anything outside of that. So where does her social like? Mind you, she's smart. A lot of times, people that are smart study a lot.
Yeah.
You can't put it in quotations. You can't. And you're doing that, but
You can't do that,
you
Dark
you
King.
you can't do that. That doesn't make any sense.
You
Because
can't
now
do
you're,
that,
you're
Dark King.
discounting that she's smart. Like before, you discounted that she was a genius, and I'm putting
Mm,
that in air quotes. So now
Okay,
you're
thank you.
trying to say she's not smart. Just because she
No,
doesn't make good decisions doesn't mean she's not smart.
mm.
that's true. That's true. You can have book smart, but you don't have street smarts. There's two
Yeah, and I
difference.
feel like that's what I feel like. It's not even just street smarts because she's resourceful, and I
Mhm.
don't know if she's resourceful because she's an engineer and she has to be. So that's a skill set that she picks up, or is it because she doesn't
Resourceful.
necessarily have to be in the street. She doesn't carry herself like she's about that life. She doesn't talk like she's about that life. She just has
What?
that stupid ass lingo.
Okay,
That little
that okay, yeah,
what
yeah.
happened?
No, you're right. Because
So it's just like she may not have those situations to fall back on to be that's like street resourceful, if that makes
Right.
sense.
here's the
Right.
thing with Riri Williams, she's always looking for a handout. Since
No,
notice,
I don't
no,
think
no.
she's looking for one. I feel like she feels like she deserves one.
Okay, yeah, that you know what? That's right.
Yeah.
She
That's
felt like she
that's
deserved
right.
one
Yeah.
because even when she went to the shop where the cousin, I forget his name too. I think Jack, whatever the fuck his name is. I
She's
can't
about to
miss.
finagle him.
Oh no, chaotics, chaotics.
You talking about Xavier?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about chaotics. The guy that recruited her, Chaz. When you get to episode 3, you're gonna know why I'm calling him chaotics. Anyway,
Oh, okay. You know.
so yeah, chaotics, right? All right. So
That's a question when Dark King's done.
oh no, there's no favorite episode. Like, I know that question, but even with the whole thing, she was expecting a handout when with the guy with the scrapyard instead of asking for a job, which she could have used the job as a resource to get parts, which would have made more of a convincing story. She was looking for a handout, which again they had to say, oh yeah, she's a genius, and he was expecting to get his money back.
But
Ugh, ugh.
she already let me stop. But she already why she doesn't want because it's not gonna give her the amount of money that she needs in the time that she wants it. She already
That's
went through
called
that. So
that's called
her
life.
working at the junkyard is not happening
Mm,
because now you have to look at the scene in this context, right? I'm Riri Williams. I'm going into the store. This guy starts talking about all these amazing things that I do, and here I am about to finagle him and fall off and look like I've fallen off my high horse.
yeah, that's
Right.
exactly what they were doing, jerking off like the whole
That's
time.
it. That's exactly what it's gonna look like. Now I'm gonna look like shit to him when meanwhile he was just praising me. Talk about how I came from here to MIT and Tony Stark fucking foundation, goddamn grant recipient, and here I am now in his junkyard back in Chicago, about to ask him to help me out, or I'm about to finagle him, or ask for a handout and stuff like that.
Here's
Hmm.
here's why Peter Parker is a better character too, in terms of that. Peter Parker lived the same life too. He went to it was a good school, but he didn't have that mindset like I deserve this. In fact, if you go by the MCU version of Peter Parker, he built his items from scraps that he found in the garbage.
Yeah.
That's how he got to everything anything like leftovers from like I guess the school that didn't want any more pieces like that. He took that and he used that to build his suit that he got. Now, granted, Tony Stark
I'm
came out
about to
there and
say
glazed them.
something.
No, like, you remember because going by the original suit they had, not the one that Stark jerked off and gave him, the original, the first suit he had. Like you can tell that was homemade.
Right.
And like, and you gotta go a little fantasy about how he got the web fluid together because that's horseshit. Like there's no science in any schools in the fucking world that you can finagle fucking web fluid from that. Like you can get fucked on that one. But
That's
that's the
funny.
thing too. Like he basically built it from scratch too, in a
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah,
I'm
but
going by
see,
the
that's the
MCU way.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
but see, but that's the thing.
Mhm.
Building a suit out of fabrics from Michaels and building an iron suit, building web shooters, building the fluid, that's chemicals, right? You
Yeah.
need the
Mhm.
mechanisms to make the web shoot.
Yeah.
You can get that from scraps from here and there. That's nothing special. The things that you need to build this suit is totally different. And I'm not going to point out the obvious things between Riri Williams and Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure we can all see those with our two eyes. So we're
Mhm.
just going to go with that. Okay.
I
He's
know.
white.
I
He's white.
Oh
Let's
my
not confuse people,
god.
okay?
What does that have to do with anything? Okay, take it. Okay, what does this gonna have to do
I
anything?
just wanted to say that.
She got it. She entered the Stark program just like Peter Parker did. She got accepted to Wakanda. Well, technically for reasons because of the fact that she was on a project and they got attacked by whatever the fuck in Sea on West Wakandans. But I forgot the name of the group, so I'm going to Sea Wakandans. Anyway, so that's it. But
The
she
man
ended
did
up
not
work.
see Wakanda Forever.
I don't give a shit. I'm not going to see it either. But she got attacked by it. But then she ended up getting a thing in Wakanda. She ended up getting a scholarship in Wakanda. So she had privileges given to her. She had stuff that was given that she given. It wasn't earned. It was given to her.
See, that's the thing. She doesn't. When she came back and we see her, she has none of those things. Those things are non-existent. And I don't think there's things that she technically messed up. It's things that are implied that she's done other things that messed that up. But like we don't see those things. That's the problem. We see what she has, what she created so far, being
Mhm.
at MIT with the grant, with the resources that she had. We see that now she's back in the quote unquote ghetto, quote unquote hood,
Mhm.
or let's
Right.
just say her hometown.
Why
She's
is that?
back in her
Wait,
hometown,
why is
doesn't
that?
have the resources. Her mom looks like she's a freelance
Artist.
painter from one of
Yeah.
those websites online
Yeah.
and stuff
Fiverr.
like that. So again, what real money is coming in? So
Yeah.
it's just like I'm really down and out. I don't have
Right.
anything.
Who fault is that? That reason why she's not. Who fault is that?
That's the real question.
Her. It's her fault. It's explained in episode 1 when she get kicked out of expelled from MIT
Yeah, we
because
know
of
that
her.
that's her fault.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's she ruined her own thing. It's not because of color of skin, it's because she did stupid choices.
No, I know. I was just making a joke. Just
I
saying.
know, I know. I'm utilizing that.
I was just busting balls. But yeah, but like
Why
yeah,
you
like
gotta
I was
bust
saying.
balls for? Yeah,
I feel like this
Busting
whole
balls.
making a suit from Michaels with some fabric,
like
the
what?
things that
No,
are needed are totally
that
different
is
as well.
completely different.
Because I said
Yeah.
if you saw ask Peter Parker to go make the Iron suit, the
He
Iron
would be able to do
Spider
it.
suit, that's not happening.
Yeah. I agree.
You give him time.
Because
Yeah,
yeah, because see, Riri's an engineer. She knows how to make those things and stuff
Right.
like that. And I feel like more of Peter Parker's more of a scientist.
Right.
he built most of his suits though. Now I'm going by the video. I'm going by the video game now here. In the Spider-Man video game, he built most of his suits that he used from scratch. Now it may
Oh,
not be now any suits that was like the more technical and stuff like that. He had assistants. Now
yeah,
that's what
like
you're right.
techie suits. I'm talking about like
Yeah,
the Iron Spider suit more.
yeah.
I feel
He
like
didn't do that on his own.
that's why I say Riri's an engineer
Yeah.
and
Okay. Okay.
Peter Parker's a scientist. So
I'll give
that's
you
why I
that. I'll give
say
you that.
like
Yeah.
that's where they're
Yeah.
at. They're
Yeah.
both like smart as hell, but
Right.
like they just in two different fields.
That's
We'll
true.
go with
That's
that.
true. Yeah. But okay. So then again, it's like what inspired her to. And I'm gonna shut up after this because I know we gotta get to that shitty episode 3 where I checked out at. Yeah, where did she get the inspiration to build an Iron Man suit? Did she like just? I'm a huge fan of Tony Stark, and I want to just be like just like him.
No, I think
Yeah.
it goes back to her saying like she wants that recognition. She was like, nobody cares about this. They care about the iron suit. She mentioned that. She was like,
Mhm.
she wants people to recognize her genius. I don't know what it is that makes her feel like she's been overlooked and
Narcissist.
passed over, or or what that type of recognition will do for her spiritually or emotionally. But
Right.
that is something that she does like strive towards. That's something that she wants. If an iron suit, if it wasn't an iron suit and you had to recreate Thor's hammer, let's just say that for example, she would
Mhm.
create Thor's hammer. Like she
Mhm.
would do whatever anybody's going to recognize as being exemplary. Like, and that's how they view Tony Stark as a genius, an
Right.
entrepreneur. Like he was like the golden boy, dying for us. Damn near might as well call him Jesus. and that's hard to live up to. And I feel like she has the makings of a hero. It's a lot of ego that she has, and hard truths will make you put that ego down real quick.
That's true.
Yeah. If you look at yeah, exactly. And you see the picture, right? It's like I'm like, I want some of that. But no, no, you're right. I agree with you there. Like I said, I understand that, but I don't like the way they had characters like first like looking in like if an outsider like we because we're all knowledgeable about the comic books and like MCU in general, but a normal a newbie that has never watched the show would look at that and they go, "How is she a hero? Like she everything she's done so far since in the first two episodes we talked about has all been villainous. She's taking money from a villain to do a heist, not knowing the repercussions of what the villain is. I mean, on what they're doing.
Right.
She expects the world to give her stuff like that's not
Right.
it's not a build up to be a hero. Like even when we get to episode three, like even the action she did there, like it's not that's not a hero. Like like I don't like
Mhm.
it's at the point with these shitty writers today. They're expecting that we supposed to go behind. I mean, we follow her about that. But to in my opinion, like this that same bullshit writing that they did in freaking Maleficent, the freaking Cruella movie, like they just misunderstood. No, it's a shitty writing for characters. Like
Right.
we deserve better. I'm sorry. Like Riri hasn't done anything that I can see here. Like it's like she hasn't like used a suit to save somebody from a fire or something like that, or like she hasn't done anything. Like I know she doesn't give me that. She doesn't give me that type of energy that she would do something like that. That's the thing. I don't.
Honestly felt like I thought she was gonna do that. I thought she was gonna do that. I think it was somebody said something about like, oh, I think after the conversation he had with her, like, oh, but like, what are you doing with your suit? You're not out here, saving kittens from trees and shit like that. He didn't say that, but like, and I thought she was gonna go and actually make a difference like later on in the episode. And I was like, yeah, like even just to prove him wrong, like, and then that feeling that you get when you help somebody, I thought like, oh, okay, maybe that's what's gonna happen. But obviously,
no,
that didn't
Not.
happen.
Yeah.
So.
no.
All
Okay,
right.
to
That
answer
that makes sense.
yeah
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
to answer Strike's question, favorite episode, the episode where you know that part, like favorite episode, the part where they says the end of the trailer and you see the end like the credits go up and it says that's my favorite part of every episode.
His favorite episode is the one where he steps on Apollo shit.
Yeah, no, he steps on a part of the show.
When Joe
Like
Joe stepped on the
I
parking crack.
you know what? I wish this was a prequel. I wish this was a prequel. And the movie and the show ends at the time of Infinity War.
And then she gets snapped.
Hey, I'm just and now he's saying like, what? What happened? And then I would be happy. That would be the best part. Don't bring her back. There's no season two. We don't care.
Right.
But you can't do it because it makes the timeline makes no sense. So you can't I mean, damn
Yeah.
it. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Stay here.
I agree. All right. So episode 2, honestly, in my opinion, was very all over the place. Too much things happen at
Oh,
once.
sorry.
Way too much things happen at once. So I am honestly speaking, I personally it's my least favorite episode out of the 3 because of the fact that everything was crammed into one episode. Everything from the hood to how her personality is and then they implemented Natalie more in there, then the heist, and then everybody, all the little villains that they have. They try to, you know, give them a part, but obviously it didn't work because it's just too much crammed into one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was rushed. I feel like that episode was too damn rushed, way too rushed. The plot was all over the place. One minute you got to do this, the next minute you got to focus on something else. So it's like, where does the balance start? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you have your mom there, you have to worry about. You got Natalie, you got the situation with Gary, trying to pinpoint everything. Then you got the hood. Then you got Rampage. They don't know what the hell's going on with Rampage yet. And then you got the heist, and then you have shit going wrong in the heist. They have to revert to something else because of Riri's decision to make Natalie, and Natalie pops up forcefully in her damn suit. And it just, yeah, there was just too much going on. And then they had the date afterwards after the whole entire thing. And the conversations between her mom wanting to have a Gary version of AI, it was way too much for a fucking 40-minute episode.
I mean, real quick, that's the problem with a lot of the Marvel shows. It's too much too soon. I mean, too much in a short amount of time. You have too many
Right.
characters. Like you
Right.
have way too many characters. It's like you have to deal with Riri, then
Hmm.
Natalie, then like
Then
characters in
Natalie.
the background like Xavier, and
Right.
then you got the mother, and then
Right.
now that's the main characters like for the good guys,
The heroes.
the
Hmm.
hero.
And then they
But
got
let
way
us.
more villains in this one.
You got the whole E Team Mob Squad, which honestly speaking, a fart in a bag would have been a better villain than all of them to combined. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like
True. True.
like and the hood should be, if we know who the hood is, that should be a more darker series than what they leading on. Because you're dealing with witchcraft
Right.
borderline. Like if you watch the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. Because it's the information's in the trailer. But
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
and after you explained to me what that was, and I'm just like, this doesn't belong in this at
zero.
all, at all. So it's like, all right, where are you going with the hood in the story now? Because obviously, is it going to lead to anything else like fucking Scarlet Witch or Agatha the Heartless? It just makes no sense to have the
Please,
hood in there.
please God, no. Let the Scarlet Witch die in peace, please, and
She ain't
don't
dead,
bring
right?
Agatha back.
She ain't dead.
She
You think she
lets.
dead? She ain't dead.
Okay, listen. I watch Mom. Okay, I watch Multiverse of Madness. I see those rocks. She forces the rocks to crush her. She's dead. She's gonna come back as a multiverse character because I don't think Elizabeth Olsen's coming back as her fine ass self. My gosh, she's beautiful. But yes, she's not coming
But
back.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's my whole take. Episode 2 was one of the worst, my least favorite in the three. Too much going on. I didn't like it. 0 out of 10 for that one for me.
There you go. Welcome.
0 out of 10 for that one for me.
Welcome.